How's it going, guys? Luis Romero here, and we have Jackson with Activescapes out here in Salt Lake City, and we're gonna be talking about all the real shit, all the real business, and the real person behind the business. Um, Dude, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's just start with something. Where did you grow up? Are you originally from Utah?
Yeah, grew up Salt Lake City.
Okay.
In fact, the house that I grew up in most of my life, I live basically back door to now. So
That's
I haven't moved
amazing.
very far. I've grew up, love the area, love everything about it, and
That's
don't
good,
ever
man.
plan to
Well,
leave.
thank you for, sharing a little bit of your time. I know right now, we're heading towards the end of the season. I'm sure you got a thousand things that you could be doing for your business instead of this. And thank you for making the time.
Yeah.
Now, dude, like last time I was talking to you, I think we had a great conversation, and I just wanted to ask you again, right? Because you're pretty young.
Yeah.
You're right. And how did you when did you knew it was going to be a landscaping business?
No.
What
I-
was it? Was it a spark that you just wanted to do your own thing, or you kind of started doing it on the side and then you realized like, oh shit, I'm actually making really good money with this?
Yeah, I think the thing that drew me to it was just money.
Yeah.
I grew to love making money, and I grew up pushing the mower up and down the street from the time I was like 11 or 12 years old, and then just continued to grow a little bit of a clientele until I was in college and realized, I could make some good money doing this. And during that time, I was working construction
Mm-hmm.
for some family, and so I took a lot of what I learned there and implemented into the landscaping business. And then so really college, like 2019 2020, is really when I decided to go full on this. And
Okay. So you did go to college,
I
and
did,
then
and I graduated.
what did you go to college for?
So I graduated with a business administration degree.
Okay.
So when I had started the business, I had 2 years left.
Okay.
And my parents really pushed me to finish.
So you were kind of like already running the business, and at the same time you finished your commitment to college.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was lucky because everything was over Zoom. So I'd work during the day and attend college via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to double dip really easy.
Yeah. Was that for the people that loves you, right? Like, was landscaping kind of like, were they kind of like, oh, why landscape, why mowing lawns? Because that's what you started doing, right? Like when people, I don't know, when I told someone that I was gonna start mowing lawns, they're like, what? Like, why? I'm like, I don't know. Like, just I can copy that and hire people to do it.
Yeah.
Was that? Did you ever feel like there was like maybe they want like you went to college, business administration? Was there maybe something like, oh, you need to like work for a big company, have a high salary, working for someone else?
Yeah, not really, but I think because of the timing.
Uh-huh.
Because by the time I'd graduated college, I was able to show that I was making good money, not doing the big salary, working for a big company,
Yeah.
and all that. So
Yeah.
if things had been shifted, if I had graduated college and said, hey, I'm going to start a landscape company, I would have gotten a little more of that feedback.
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, it's been pretty positive.
Okay.
I've had certain people make comments to me like, oh, you're going to be pushing, you're going to be mowing lawns when you're 45. And that's just fuel to me.
Yeah. You're
I
like,
know
no,
it's not-
motherfucker,
doesn't have to be that way."
I already have people doing it for me.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was, I didn't
Yeah.
have
So
that.
how long ago was that?
So I graduated college 2022.
Dude, it's 2025.
So-
You're so young.
Yeah. So it's been 3 years 3.5 years almost since I graduated.
That's
And,
amazing,
yeah.
dude. And tell me about the name of your company. Did you come up with that name from like day one, or kind of like you were doing it and then you're like, this is it. This is the name.
So it's funny. I didn't start that way. So
Uh-huh.
I started JBS LLC, Jackson Bennion Services.
Okay.
And then about 6 months in, I realized this is going to be really hard to market. Nobody's going
Yes.
to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Activescapes, I kept thinking of names, and Activescapes kind of just came to my head one day.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, that's good enough. Let's go with it.
Yeah. Was there also like a type of marketing that you kind of learn along the way that you're like, okay, I need to be maybe changing the name to Activescapes? What was it that it sparked? the change?
I
or
needed
just
something landscape related. That
Okay.
was really what it was. I need something that people saw and thought, oh, that's a landscape company.
hmm And why
So
Activescapes? Like I'll tell you what. When before I even met you, I seen your trucks around, and I'm like, that's a great name. I mean, and this is just what hits me
sure,
personally. I'm sure everyone sees a logo and it calls different for everyone, right? But
yeah,
when I was looking at your trucks, Activescapes, I mean, I'm like, he's selling high tickets. Like he's getting the whole landscape installation, trees, shrubs, and also adding like cool activity areas. And I always try to push for those when I'm selling landscapes. I'm like, oh, you should put a little gardening area, or maybe like a little outdoor space for like exercising and stuff. But
yeah.
to me, it just calls and is really catchy. I love your logo, and I mean, I'm just a little jealous that I didn't come up with that myself. But
I
it
appreciate
is
that.
great, man.
Most of those those benefits that you're talking about are just happenstance.
Yeah,
So it wasn't. I didn't think, oh, I want to be doing these big projects. I need to come up with a name that reflects that. It was just sounds like a good name.
yeah,
Goes with the landscape community. Let's do it.
yeah. And he sells,
Yeah,
right?
it worked out good.
He helps
Yeah,
you close the jobs.
it does. Yeah.
That's good, man. So how did you obviously you started doing that while you were in college. So were you taking big jobs, or was it just mostly like mowing the lawn, doing the cleanups, like light cosmetic upgrades? Like when did you start really getting into like, okay, well, let's bid for pavers, let's get retaining walls, let's do a full irrigation system.
Yeah.
When did that change?
So let's see. So my first year, 2020,
Mhm.
was mostly mowing,
Yeah.
and I did a couple small paver jobs, like 200 square feet, nothing big. And I would mow the first 3 days of the week. I'd mow Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'd do those installs Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I want to ask you something, and I'll let you keep going with that. You mentioned something key. You did.
Yeah.
See, guys, like this is real life. He did. That's how you start a business. You have to put in the work. And I just wanted to point that out, dude, because there's a lot of like gurus and selling and like do this and you get to your first million. No, it doesn't. It's not that easy. You got to wake up early. Tell me about that. Like really, like how did that, like you got 3 days mowing and edging and blowing lawns, and then you get two more days. Like how complicated is that? Like how did you manage that? I mean, you seem that you really like it, so it's not
Yeah.
complicated for you. But I want to share like real advice from you. Like you did the work.
Yeah. I was excited by it. So I wasn't even thinking that. Like my first year, work time was sun up to sundown.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I remember this guy calling me. He called me about 6:30 saying, "Hey, are you still coming to mow my lawn?" And I remember getting so pissed off because it's like, I still got 2 more hours. I'm
Yeah.
getting to your yard.
So you tell me you didn't work 6-8 hours a day?
No.
No.
Nope.
How many? Wait a minute. It requires more time to put on
Yeah.
when you're running your business.
It does. It certainly does. And that's what I'm always telling people is it always takes a lot more than what it seems.
Yeah. So you're up before the sun goes up because you got to come in and prep the equipment. Did you had a helper at the beginning, or you
Not
kind
my
of just
first
were
year.
doing it? The first year was just you.
Me and only me, and then I would have a high school helper help me when I really needed help.
Yeah.
But it wasn't consistent.
Dude, and then how did you? I mean, so you had a little advantage. You did finish college, and you had a business administration.
Yes.
Right. How did that play with your business, right? Because we've talked about like college is important, but we have come to an agreement. Like I personally believe that maybe even without college, you can still have a great job or build a great company.
Yeah.
How did your degree help your business in the beginning, and now that you're running it? How did you apply that back into your own company?
Yeah. And actually, I think it was really more in high school. So in high school, I took some concurrent enrollment classes
Mm-hmm.
that were finance, economics, and gave me a
Mm-hmm.
good baseline understanding of how all that worked. So I'd say that's really what helped me, because going into college, I knew how to read financial statements and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then college just kind of like solidified that.
So,
but it almost got too complicated in college. There, I learned a lot of stuff that I will never use in a small business. In the corporate world, absolutely you'll use it.
So you're telling me that you got out of high school and you already knew how to balance your bank account?
Yep. In fact, those are my favorite classes.
Can you tell me what that is? Really, like, just quickly, like, how important it is for someone right out of high school to know that if you're bringing this amount of money and this amount of money is going out, how does that work? How would you simply explain that, like, in 1 minute to someone that is wondering? And I'm talking about someone in high school that is trying to start that business and is trying to work several hours during the day, but it pays off. Like, how is that, like, balancing your bank account?
I think at the end of the day, business is a simple equation. It's revenue minus your costs equals your profit. And so many of those gurus, they are flexing this revenue number, right? But it doesn't matter if you're making 10 million a year, but it costs you 11 million a year, your profit is you're not making any money. So if you can't follow that simple equation, and that's really what I learned in high school with learning just basic business stuff is.
But you had to go look for those classes. Those classes didn't come to you. They don't come to, like, just, it's not a day to day that they teach in high school. I mean, I finished high school here in the US, and there was never, maybe I just didn't take the right classes, right?
Yeah, it was recommended to me by some people. So there are some people that I knew that were older that said, oh, you got to go do Academy of Finance. That's what it's called, Academy of Finance. And it was a bunch of different.
Okay, guys, we personally want to recommend you, if you're in high school, take those classes. If you're in college, also take the classes. Learn the basic stuff. There's lots of books out there that they will teach you how to read a business. What do you call it? Everything that you print out of QuickBooks. What do you call those forms?
Oh yeah, your income statement, balance sheet,
your income statements, your break-even point. Super important. I didn't learn that until later in business and the hard way, and it was horrible.
Yeah, probably the more expensive way.
Really expensive way. Okay, so when when you start getting those bigger jobs, how did you start bidding for those? Like, how did you get in? Like, I'm sure one of your clients was like, hey, can you do this for me? And you said yes. And you, in the back of your head, you're like, I have, I'm, and I'll say it for myself. I'll say it for myself, guys. Like, I'm like, we done that. I hope my clients don't see this, that I'm accepting that I didn't know how to do some things. How was that exciting for you when someone offered you a job that was like, oh my gosh, like that's $5,000. Then you're doing the math in your head. And you're like, I can finish that in 3 days.
Yeah. In my head, I'm thinking 3 days, and it ends up taking me 6.
Well, you have a story, like you want to share, something. Maybe when you got one of those first jobs, that the simple fact that is way out of your mind, and like your $300, $900 range. Like, how did that play in your head? And did you overcommit? And did you deliver?
Yeah. Well, I hope I'd say I delivered, because they're still a client of ours now. So
okay.
But yeah, I was ecstatic. I remember seeing that. I think it was like $8,000 or something, and I was so happy. I was so excited. Same thing. Oh yeah, we've done a bunch of these. In fact, this is the paper we install most common. And I was just looking through the book, just thinking, this is going to be easiest to install. And anyway, it ended up working out great. And that was the benefit that I had. Was it's kind of hard. It's a lot easier to quote out and estimate your materials than your labor time, especially when you're first starting. Mm-hmm. So the benefit that I had was I didn't have any labor. So if you were the labor. I was my free labor. So if I underbid a job, I was still making some money, because I was just working for a lot less money, but it was only myself. I wasn't paying anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I got. I guess I just grew at a good pace because I didn't get caught with employees and not knowing how to bid jobs. Because I didn't get my first real full-time employees until year 3.
Wow.
So I had 2 years where it was me and some helpers, and so I was able to learn a lot through that time.
Did you had a mentor for landscaping, or did you like teach yourself?
Pretty much taught myself. The
Yep.
person who got me excited about it was Brian's Lawn Maintenance on YouTube.
Okay.
I was watching him over the winter thinking, oh, I can do this. I can do cleanups, mulch installs, and then
What is the name of this guy? He's on YouTube.
yeah.
Okay.
But he only mows lawns. He doesn't do any
Which one is he, so
landscaping.
we can follow him?
Brian's Lawn Maintenance.
There you go, guys. Let's
Yeah.
go look for this guy. and hey, I agree with you. A lot of the stuff I did, I YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And now you have, like you guys have ChatGPT now.
Which
Holy
is amazing.
crap!
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. Like, I shouldn't say it, but like some of my contracts for snow removal right now,
Oh, yeah.
just giving them the prompts.
Yeah. We do the same thing.
I'm like, just please make sure that if I get sued, I don't lose everything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's, and to your point, that's a great way to learn. I mean, we put our monthly P&Ls in it and ask it to show us trends and help us analyze it.
Yeah.
So
that's cool, man. I mean, going back to starting your business, was there a experience or like a story that you have maybe with the great client, or maybe a not so great client, something that you think that anyone starting their business is going to find, and that it's not the end of the world? I think we talked about it. I worked for free a few times. I don't say many, but I think a few times where I'm just scratching my head like this, looking at my employees, looking at like a little pile of material, and I'm like, how the hell did I bid $10,000 for a $50,000 job? Like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Oh, for sure. I think that's kind of the cost of business. But there have been jobs where took money out of my pocket to finish that job.
Yeah.
Where we paid thousands of dollars to provide a product for somebody. But yeah, I think let's see. So this would be our 3rd year. We did our biggest paver patio and seating wall at that point. And I was still in the field, so it hurt less, in my opinion, because I was able to keep track of stuff.
Yeah.
But I just kept telling myself, yeah, I'm not losing money, but I'm gaining a good project that I can market, and a referral, client that will refer us, and we'll make money off that referral later. And that's both of those have happened. Yeah. His job is on our website, and he's given us probably close to $50,000 to $100,000 of referrals. Yeah, because we did his job, and I thought we did a good job, and apparently he thought so too. And yeah, it's turned out okay.
You delivered what you promised with your money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, guys. You're going to, there is going to be one job that somehow you work your numbers a few times and you're going to mess it up. The key is that you finish the job, whatever it takes. Like, I'm sorry, sometimes maybe there was any money in the bank to keep doing it. If you got to do it yourself, you have to do it yourself on your own, on the weekends, whatever it takes. Deliver the job, because I seen people quitting I heard horrible stories from some clients. I got some that are they have like a PTSD with like landscapers. Yeah, and I'm like, we just finished a job, and he wanted like all these reassurance on emails, and I'm like, bro, like, what is wrong? Like, I actually we have a good relationship now. He's a marketer. He does marketing for companies. So he's like, dude, it's just like, we used 2 landscapers before you guys, and we were burned. I'm like, all right, I get it now. I see what you guys were so like.
Yeah. Well, I'm always telling people, a lot of people run a landscape business because they know how to work hard, but they don't know how to run a business. So that's the problem, is you get guys who come in here who have incredible work ethics, but they don't have the the background
Mm-hmm.
to do that simple business equation. So they get in and over their head, and they just quit, and they leave a client with a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just follows you, and I do believe in energy, and you start creating that negative energy around you and your company, and it's just, and his reputation too. It's
Yeah.
like, it's all about what people know about you on Google. Your reviews mean a lot. If you have 3 reviews and the 3 of them are not great, it's bad. So watch that. If you need to do it out of your pocket, do it and get done with it, and make sure you get a 5-star review.
And that's one thing we fell into early on accident too, was Google reviews. We got into the Google game really early.
Mm-hmm.
So we were getting a lot of calls off of 10 5-star reviews.
Yes.
Now Google, we were talking about it. Google is so saturated now. You have to have a lot of 5-star reviews to be
Yes. Yes. And there is a lot more companies now this last couple years, man. I'm like, I guess it's good. It's great to have competitors and you know, and it's healthy, right? Economy is
For
good,
sure.
and everybody's trying. And I think that's why you and I are sitting here, is because we want you guys out there to know, like, this is our experience. This is how we start. This is how we're running our business, and here's a plan for our business in long term, right?
Yeah.
So let's now, you know, like, go into running the business. Now that you're running your business, you have a few crews working for you. How did you make that transition? How did you hire and put together your first crew?
So year 3, about this time,
Mm-hmm.
I had 2. At that point, I had 2 full-time employees, and then a bunch of high school kids that worked full-time through the winter or the summer, and then they had just gone back to school. So it was me and 2 full-time employees trying to get these jobs done. And then one of the employees, who was one of my best friends, he quits.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in desperation mode, thinking
Yeah.
I've got me and this other guy, and we've got a bunch of jobs. And so I would go to Sprinkler Supply and ask everyone I knew, everyone there, saying, "Hey, do you know anybody looking for work?" And
Oh my god, I thought I
And
was the
I-
only one doing that shit.
yeah. And I stumbled upon this guy who just happened to need work, and
Yeah.
he had friends who wanted to work. And so I went from being in the field to out of the field like that,
Mhm.
because he brought his crew. I paid him and each of his guys $30 an hour
Mhm.
to come in and help us finish that job. And that pushed me out of the field.
Mhm.
And that, so, and that brings me to a good point. I thought I was at my lowest when I lost my buddy who worked full time, but he helped propel me way further than he would have being with us.
Give that advice to people, like your lowest, when you think it's like it's over.
Yep.
Like I'm not gonna get this done. I'm gonna lose my clients. How did you? I mean, you're literally standing outside of a sprinkler supply store, trying to poach employees from
Yeah.
other companies.
Yeah.
See,
That-
you took action.
Yeah. I
Right
had no
away.
choice. It was,
But that's the thing, man. Like, you'd be surprised. People there, see, guys, like, you're gonna find a moment when, like, it's just not the way you plan it. I'm sorry. You might have a business plan that you take to the bank and get a loan. Well, guess what? You have to be ready to be making changes to that business plan, because it's like you said, you lost your best employee, probably the one that knew how to do things too. So
yeah.
shit, you had to go over there and stand somewhere and find a guy that worked out.
Yeah. And I didn't speak any English, and he didn't speak any, or I didn't speak any Spanish, and he didn't speak any
What's
English.
his name?
David
Just
Tizek.
David, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
You did a good thing.
Yep. And he worked with us, and he and his crew, I just subcontracted labor to him. So, and then I would provide materials, and he worked with us for the next 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then they no-showed a couple times. And again, I thought I was laying pavers with a deadline,
Mm-hmm.
thinking I have no clue what I'm going to do. And so then I started making phone calls to paver companies, and then I found my next crew that I subcontracted for the next about 8 months.
Okay.
So for my first year and a half of me being out of the field and doing installs, I was subcontracting labor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually a great way to start, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the difference, running a business and what has worked out for you. Like, you have employees and then you can subcontract 1099 another smaller company or another company to do some of the work.
Yeah.
What are the pros and cons of subcontracting work?
The pros are hopefully they've got good experience.
They got to guarantee their work, right?
Exactly. And in fact, I'll get to that, but that's why we went to all employees and not much subcontracting, because we had to fix a bunch of work. But the thing that got me the most was just the lack of control that I had. I couldn't control how often they were there. I couldn't control how much they were working. So I was trying to balance and keep clients happy and keep that positive, reputation, while also juggling these subcontractors that I couldn't really control.
Yeah.
So that was difficult, but it was worth it to me, because I wasn't in the field, and we weren't making great money, but we were making good enough money, and we were getting jobs done, and people were happy at the end of the day. So, yeah. But employees as you know, employees cause headaches in their own way too.
Yes.
So,
yes. I'm very thankful for my team, but
yes,
sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. and our team's fantastic. We've got a great group of people that really care and
yes,
make my life easy. Well, not easy, but a lot easier than it could be.
Yeah. And just starting to build your system, right? Like the delegating. I think if you can trust if you can trust them, you can start delegating, and then you can start doing more. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good, man. No, we're very thankful for our team. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
So what do you do, like, running your business? Do you keep up on, like, taking trainings for certain services, or do you keep watching videos? How do you stay up to date on like trending, right? Like for installations, right? Like, what are the pavers that are selling the most right now? What have you taken any training on how to build a retaining wall, or how do you do ongoing education?
Yeah, so not much, other than a lot of social media stuff. And I'll send that to our team all the time, saying, look at this way these guys are installing these pavers. That is way faster. We should be doing it this way. And also just making sure we're up to date with, like for pavers and walls, what the suppliers or the manufacturer's recommendations.
Availabilities, right?
And what they recommend, how we install it.
Okay.
So just so we stay up to date, because that changes.
Yeah.
Before, we've moved over to a 3/8 inch chip screed layer instead of sand, because it doesn't settle as much.
Yeah.
And so just stuff like that we try and stay up to date on, and get things engineered when they're supposed to be engineered.
How do you manage your crews? Like, are you what, like, I guess, like, what software are you using to manage your crew?
So we use Jobber.
And
Google Sheets.
Jobber should pay us a
fee. Jobber's great. Jobber, every software is going to have its pros and cons, but all in all, Jobber's been fantastic for us. We've used it since we've been in business.
Same here, dude. I actually used in another business that I own, House Called Pro.
Yes.
And then we used another one, Service Titan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we just switched that one to Jobber.
Oh, did you?
It's just, Jobber makes it easy. It's like, it's easy. It's like user friendly. It's like landscaper user friendly.
Yes.
And they
totally
just
is.
I don't know if you saw the update, but they have, like, the app it can now be in Spanish. Like, a lot of my guys, it's in Spanish. They already have a hard time sometimes with the smartphone, so like been like, so we like it. Jobber, we like you. Send us something. No, I'm always recommending that. What about accounting? What software do you use? A different software for accounting, or you use the same one? Which one?
So we use QuickBooks.
Okay.
And then we have a bookkeeper that keeps track of everything.
I was gonna say that again. I mean, you do have a background. You do have college. Do you do your own bookkeeping?
No, I did.
Why?
Because I did my first 2 years. It was.
Of course you.
It was December.
You did it yourself.
And I would just go through, and I didn't touch it all year until December. And I would spend like a full day in QuickBooks categorizing everything. And it was not worth. No amount of money can beat.
Oh, but at least you knew how to do it.
Yeah, I knew how to do it, but I didn't like it.
We just waited until the last minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was too busy getting the work done, and I didn't care about the back end. The bank account was going up. I knew I was making money. I just didn't know.
Yeah. Just didn't really care about what you were gonna tell Uncle Sam.
That's right.
For tax purposes.
Yes.
No, that's great. I always tell anyone that I talk to, don't do your own bookkeeping, don't do your accounting. It doesn't matter how good with the numbers you are.
Yeah.
I can assure you, if you're a landscaper, you're a landscaper for a reason. Keep it that way, or go be an accountant. Yeah.
Well, and in college, that was my argument, is all these things that I'm learning to be accountant, financial advisor, all that kind of stuff. I am way better off spending my time to go make money and pay someone to do those services for me.
Yes.
Because it doesn't make sense for me to do them. I should know what the overall idea of what they're doing, but I don't need to know the ins and outs.
Yeah, well, reading the reports, you said it a minute ago. You should know how to read your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, and I think there was a third one that I can't remember. But for me, it's like your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, and your break-even point. Uh-huh. I think for landscapers, knowing how much money you need to stay in business, and let's talk about Utah, right? We get about 9 months of really, I believe 9 months is really good for landscaping. Like you can do pretty much anything. But then you get the winter, and then you're supposed to be getting snow, right? Which
you can't plan on that, though.
You can plan on it, but you got to know how to stay in business for 3 months without revenue. I will plan for 6, because then you got the beginning of the season when you go from like 2-3 employees, or depending on the size of you guys' company, to all these people on payroll now. So you go from freaking $10,000 per pay period to 60, and then next thing you know, in 1 month you have a payroll of $120,000 or even more. Depending on the size. But there is that gap. Like, you're barely started doing work. Most of us do commercial work, and guess what? You're getting paid in 30 days if you're lucky. Most of them are between, how do you manage the season in Utah?
Really, it's just making sure you've got a safety fund that gets you well past the winter, like you're saying.
How many months you think is a healthy?
All right, 5 or 6, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Just because spring's my least favorite time. We're the busiest, and we've got no money. For the reason that you were saying, we've got all this work going, and you guys
pay attention to this, please.
You think you're making money when you're super busy, but those payments don't come in until you've already paid off all your materials and paid off all your employees for a month.
Yeah.
So you're floating a couple, it could be a couple $100,000 until you get paid.
Yeah.
And so
well, especially if you got no snow.
Yes.
Right. If you're a full service landscaper where you do the landscaping and snow removal, if there's no snow, like last year.
Yeah.
And then the year before, we didn't really get any snow either.
Yeah, it's been two pretty poor years.
So you got a second year, next thing you know is you getting a call from your accountant and we're going to need to transfer some of your personal savings account. I'm like, what personal savings account?
Yeah.
It's in that truck outside.
That's right. That has a loan on it. It's owned by the bank.
So I'll say be careful, guys, and this is something I wanted to share, and this is why I'm telling you we're bringing real people and real businesses, because it doesn't work. We all want the nice equipment, and we all want the nice trucks. But here's the thing. When we're starting, we have to be really smart about that, especially in Utah, because we're not getting work the 12 months. We're not in California. So... well, guess what? If you get snow, you do really good. And that's when you can save for those 6 months. Don't go buy new equipment or shit you don't need. Save 6 months to cover your break-even point. If you guys don't know what that is, you should go look it up.
Yeah. Well, and something that I did a couple years ago that I'm really glad I did, I went through bank statements and categorized what was a direct cost and what was overhead.
Uh-huh.
So I understood what our monthly overhead was.
Yes.
and then I would structure our snow accounts so that we'd have set contract amounts to cover all of our overhead.
So you did what? Let's talk about a little bit of a snow. Did you have like a flat rate per month on some snow contracts?
Yeah. So what we'll do every fall, we'll analyze and see what we have, and we do contracts up to our break-even point of overhead, and then we do per push on everything else. Because the upside on per push is fantastic.
Yeah, well, tell me about this contracts per month, and that's something that a lot of people don't know. And I did exactly what you're saying. So it means like if it doesn't snow, and then this is just for you guys, okay? If it doesn't snow, you still get paid. I mean, maybe if you feel bad, you can just go and do like a little cleanup for them. But here's the thing: if it snows 10 times in 1 month, you're gonna go over there and push that snow on time with a good attitude, and you're gonna get paid the same thing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's the pros, and like that's what you're getting yourself into. So what percentage of your company you think during the winter time, what percentage of your contracts for snow removal do you want to put on like you personally on your company? Everybody's gonna have a different number.
We're about 30%.
Okay.
On contracts, and the rest is per push. Just so that when we do have a 10 push month, we're not feeling like we work for free.
Yes.
But then months like years like last year, we're still able to bring in a little bit of revenue to at least cover the overhead of everything.
Yeah, so you're not using that savings account.
Exactly.
If that account exists. I'm talking for myself.
No, there's been times for me it hasn't existed too, and it is terrifying. If I had no other choice, I don't know how the only way I got through it is because I had no other choice.
Yes. You guys got that right. Like sometimes there's no choice. You got to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'll tell you a funny story. That one season that we did great, 2023, I think. I think it was. We had, I think, about 30% of flat rate contracts with basically what we did is we sold them the landscaping with the snow, 12 months, flat rate every month. It included all the snow during the winter time, and it included all the landscaping, and those were great. 30%, I have no issues with it. It's great. That year snows too much. It was great. It was great. I'm not complaining, guys. I'm saying like I had to work. There was like 3 days that I had like 4 hours of sleep each day, and I'm not complaining. I'm actually like bragging about it. It was great. And after that year, I went back to it was management companies, apartments. I'm like, this is not going to work anymore. I'm going to charge you per push. They're like, well, we're going to have to cancel a contract. I'm like, well, I'm not doing this again for free. Yeah. And then 2 years later, I'm like, I'm standing in January, like, again, I'm scratching my head, like I'm wearing my hat, and I'm just like, and I'm looking at all the trucks with the snow plows and like 60 tons of ice melt in my yard. I'm like, I should have kept those contracts. I called them back. I was like, hey, can I get those contracts again? And they're like, well, like the person that is doing it right now, they're doing a good job. Like we got no reason to change. And I get that. It's like, okay, well, yeah, just you guys know, like I made that mistake.
Yeah. Well, and we got into the snow game that year. We didn't buy our first plow truck until we got a plow on one of our trucks December of 2022. So right up. And then we were able to get enough contracts that by March 1st, we needed another. Yeah. So then I put a plow on my truck and thinking, oh, I'm stupid for putting a plow on my truck in March. That's the dumbest idea ever. And I ended up paying for the whole plow plus some in March because we had such a good year. Yes. So we got lucky there. But,
yeah. Do you think there's two types of landscapers? The ones that hate the winter and the ones that love the winter. And I guess that has to do with how much snow you get, right?
Yeah, I love it. If we could do snow removal year round, I would.
I the same here. Yeah. Yeah, I've met landscapers that they're like, oh, we hate, even like the snow years, they hate him. I'm like, why? Like, oh, you just like, but I'm like, even when it snows, and they're like, I don't know, like how are like, and I wonder sometimes, like, how do you guys do your numbers? Because is our biggest markup,
Oh yeah, the
right? And
margins
it's
on
not a
snow.
secret. It's not a secret. Like, snow
Yeah.
removal is gonna be your biggest money maker. The problem sometimes Mother Nature says, like, not today.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why it is such a big margin, because it's so unpredictable. So the money has to be there to make it worth how unpredictable it is. Because if you could plan on it like mowing, then yeah, we could charge less money.
I've been doing my snow dances, for
Oh, yeah.
for the snow gods.
Yeah, bring the snow.
No, I love the snow, but what other things do you guys do if it doesn't snow?
We'll do
What were you
cleanups.
doing last year?
We did a lot of hardscape stuff,
Yeah, we were talking about that
and
too.
we got lucky with a big retaining wall that was south facing, and the house had a lot of windows. So when it was 30 degrees, it felt like 50.
Nice.
So we got really lucky. The timing just worked out great.
Yeah.
And that project actually got pushed back a couple months because of an HOA approval that at the time I was really frustrated with, because I was like, oh, I don't want to be doing this in the winter. And it ended up being fantastic for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's goes into another thing with, like, if you put your all into it, everything's going to always work out. You may not think it's working out when you're in the middle of it, but there's something better that's working itself out while you're feeling like you got nothing left.
There's it's funny you said that, because I felt the same way. I gotten pretty close sometimes to, like, here's the thing, when you ask other landscapers like how booked you guys are, they're always booked months. Oh, we're booking, and I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. So last time I talked to you, we're trying to put a bid for a huge builder, right, in Utah. Contract, couple hundred houses. They're like, oh, you guys got the best price. We like you guys. So I'm like, okay, I get no snow. I got shit to do, right? So at least we got to be prepping.
Yeah.
Come back, like $3,000. Someone else come in, $3,000 less than us. I'm like, I can't compete with that. And I think what I'm trying to say is that I was really sad last week. I was really stressing.
That's a bummer.
It's a couple hundred houses, right? You bid him for $9,000. It's a lot of money, bro. It's like you're knocking on big doors.
Yeah.
And someone else comes in a little over $5,000. I'm like, how the fuck do you come up with that price, bro? It's a national company. There's nothing we talk about that, right? Like, sometimes it's like, I can't compete with those prices. I can't compete with the labor. I cannot get that type of pricing on material. So it's like, I can't, because it's really risky. I think if you stretch it and you're really like, I'm sure they're gonna make money, but it's scary. I choose peace of mind over a big contract myself. But did I go home and was I a little out of it? Yes. And when we're gonna talk about that, we're gonna talk about how do we deal when we go home and we got when you're already making the math and like, oh, because I'm like, I got my company, but I work as the salesperson, right?
Yeah.
All I'm doing is I'm doing the 7%. I'm like, okay, I can probably take I'm gonna be a dad next year, so I'm like, I can probably take a few months off. I'm like, nah.
Yeah. But
anyways,
and that's the balance, is peace of mind over how can you be aggressive and still grow and build a successful company, but also have peace of mind.
Yeah, because it's, yes, we want to grow our company. I believe we have a good system. We have the good management in place, quality control in place. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm knocking on those doors. But at the same time, it's like, if they come back where like they're literally cutting all your profit and they put you in a situation where like it's risky. I mean, we have work, right? We'll find stuff to do. Like, I started calling all my clients like, hey, we're gonna have some time during the winter. Like, are you thinking about that retaining wall? Are you thinking about the xeriscape area that you want to do in your house or your property, right? So I was able to, like, already, like, we have work. It's not 200 houses, but we have a lot to do, and I believe we're gonna have snow this year.
I hope so.
But let's talk about your balance. Like, how do you balance work? Is there such thing as a fucking balance?
No, not at all.
You guys, here's the thing, guys. Like, this is real, and coming from someone successful like him, how does that work?
Well, I think, to be honest, I'm not very good at it. At balance, or even being present when I'm home. But
I don't think you're seeing it. I do think you have a good balance. For the times that I've been talking to you, maybe you're not giving yourself the credit, dude. But you're here. Like, like I said it at the beginning, you got probably like a couple hundred things to do right now better than sitting down here. You could be out there making real money.
Sure, but yeah, I think I'm just always thinking about work. It never turns off.
Well, you mean you just never get off the clock?
Yeah.
Right? You're the imaginary clock that you're just never off.
Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, I think you kind of, back to what you're saying with delegating, you get to a point where you can delegate your immediate tasks that have to get done right then and there, so that you can have a little bit of free time. If you need to take off an afternoon because you want to, when you have your kid, you want to hang out with your kid for an afternoon because he's got something going on or whatever, you can do that. And I think it's prioritizing that and realizing the thing that helps me make decisions is, what am I going to remember more in a year?
Yes.
Am I going to remember working this afternoon? Probably not. I'm going to remember hanging out and, going to the park or something. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're talking about last time is like, I think personally I look at it as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be working all the time. I really don't. I really want to go home and I have a pond with koi fish. I want to sit out there and stare at the fish until the fish goes like, they go like, what the fuck is he looking at? Like, why is he there? Right? I want that kind of peace. And this is me now, dude. I was not like this. I think I'm older now, 38. In my 20s, dude, I did not stop. Maybe it's just like I'm not going these stages in life where, but again, I've delegated everything in my office. I really, if anything, there is someone that can do what I do, and probably they can do it better than me. And I am really happy to say that, because I feel pretty proud of my team. I can say no one's perfect. We do have sometimes where it's like, what were you thinking? But overall, dude, is finding that, and because we do want to. I mean, I personally, like I said, it's a lifestyle. You're always gonna get calls. You're gonna get calls on the weekends, because if no one picks up the phone, guess who they're calling?
The next
you.
person. Yeah,
it's gonna be you. And then have they called me when I'm on a date with my partner? Yes, I'm in the middle of dinner, and she's like, "Hey, your phone is ringing." And I'm like, and she's like, you know what I mean? Like, having the right partner, we talk about, like, you got to get your family on board, because if it's business and it's paying for that dinner right there, right? At least the way I see it.
Yeah.
Because I waited a long time, and it's like, phone is ringing, you got to pick it up. You don't let your clients call the next guy. You are the guy. And that's something I try to tell people when they're starting their business. A lot of people come to us, be like, hey, can we subcontract like pavers or this? And I'm like, dude, I literally called you. They're like, well, I was with the client. I'm like, you're the excuse guy. Right? We don't do that. Like, we pick up the phone, and like I said, getting our family on board for me was very important. Because I just knew, I'm like you, like, I'm never going to be off the clock, but I do want to be able to enjoy. Like, I can pick up the phone and be like, yeah, we can do that. You need it now. And then I have someone that I can be like, hey, I really need you to, you're the one that is going to have to do this, because you're trying to, there's someone else that is trying to get there. So I can delegate that. But at one point, it was me. So I had to be like, we're going to eat this really quick, and do you want to come with me, or you want me to drop you off at home? And the beautiful thing is, sometimes she was like, I'll just come with you. Or, well, you just drop me off at home. But there was that, you know what I mean? And I've seen business owners, man, when they have to deal, like, when And if the wife says like no,
Yeah.
and then that you got to choose between, and that's where I seen like that gives me,
Yes.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. Well, and that's having a partner or a wife or, you know, whatever it is, supporting you and understanding is you need that. And my wife wasn't always like that. She, at one point, she would complain about me not being around, but I was able to sell her on the vision that I have.
Yes.
And now she may not love it, but she's willing to take that sacrifice now for what hopefully will come in the future.
I think it's around the corner, man. I literally, I don't think is in like future sounds like in 20 years when you're old. No, I think it's around the corner, and you have the right mindset, and you work hard, and you're consistent, and you show up. Dude, I don't know. I think, you know, what am I? I'm a millennial. What are you?
I don't even know.
You're not a millennial. You're way younger.
Like Gen Z or something like that.
Yeah.
It's all too confusing for me.
Yeah, but you have the right work ethic. And then there's only one thing that can happen, and it's success. And you understand that takes time. That's for you motherfuckers out there. You guys want to be successful in your fucking first year. And then you're complaining because you didn't make $5 million.
If I didn't live with my parents my first 2 years of business, I wouldn't be in business. Because I didn't make very much money. But I was learning.
Well, you took the opportunity.
Yeah.
You knew that's when it was the right time to start a business, because you knew that like you can start again and again and again.
Yeah.
Because you have the right mindset, and you knew you know, and everybody has like different opportunities, right?
For sure.
You're blessed with your parents, right? They help you a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I also know people like they got a loan from an uncle or something like, and I also know people that like everybody did it different, and everybody went at their own pace. Is that how you say it? At their own pace?
Yeah, pace. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's just consistency and just show up. You have to show up first. And guess what? You're the last one to leave the office or the job site or whatever. And that's something that I see on a lot of people, even my age. They're like, they just got this like, I think we went so much into the Instagram, what do they call it? Influencers, where like it's easy money, easy, like all the nice things, and yes, we want nice things. I think we want a comfortable life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Why would we do it if not?
Yes. But does it really work like that? It doesn't.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes a little time, and lots of sacrifices.
Yeah. On
yourself or with your family. Like you're you have a baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old?
He turns 1 next week.
He's gonna start running and kicking and
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, a year and a half ago, my wife went to Europe or Italy, I think, for like 3 weeks, and I stayed home because I couldn't afford to miss work.
Yeah.
She went with her family, and she had a great time, and I stayed home and worked.
But you're gonna be on the next one, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I told her. I said, hopefully we're the family that we have young kids, and we're doing that on our own. We don't need grandma and grandpa to come help pay for it.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. That's good, man. How did you get into buying your equipment? Like, what do you recommend for someone that is starting? How to wait? Was there like any? How did you work that out? Did you wait until your company was making a certain amount of money to go into buying a newer truck, or buying your first dingo or skid steer? How does that work? Because that's another thing I've seen with a lot of people out there that is starting or just barely going, and then they go and they buy old expensive equipment. What is your advice on that?
I mean, all of our equipment has been new or almost new.
Mm-hmm.
So I maybe wouldn't have the best advice on that, but where I got lucky was my first couple years in business, all the money I made went into equipment. So
you reinvested.
Yes.
Really, like all the money you're making, you're putting it back into the company.
Yes. So I went and bought a dump trailer, bought an enclosed trailer, bought all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest thing is just be smart and know your numbers, and look at look at your jobs coming up and how much your rental is going to cost me compared to how much is buying this equipment going to cost me. Because buying new equipment is pretty affordable because they offer 0% financing and all that stuff, but it can trap you really easy because they try and just hand it out for free.
Yeah.
But you have that payment over the winter when you're not making money.
I was going to get to that. I was like, yes. Yeah. We literally had that conversation on Monday with my partner. It's like, okay, we need 3 trucks this year with snowplows and salters. So I got a quote from a couple dealerships. Brand new. Like 0 interest. Right? And it varies, right? Like depending on how long you're going to finance them or... but it's doable. Dealer's like, oh, you guys can take a couple more if you need. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Because I am that guy. And then here's the thing. We've never bought a new truck for my company. The only one that we bought new is the one that I drive.
Uh-huh.
But even that, I waited a long time to buy a new truck. Anyways, so you go over there and then they're like, yeah, you can take this. But then you're doing them and I'm doing the math. I'm like, that's like $200K. They're like, that's the thing. Like when you're running a business, you're showing good numbers on your statements. That's why it's important, guys. It's not just trying to buy shit to not pay taxes. Is you got to keep those statements clean. So when you really want to make an investment and you need the bank or an investor to do it, you got clean numbers. But what we're trying to get is that it's really easy to get in debt because it's really easy in the United States. The problem is that here, guess what? You got to pay it back. And then they're only giving you that is because you do have a good record and then you have a bunch of assets on your balance sheet that they can take away from you if you don't pay them. So we're going back to the slow season. If we don't get snow, and I'm already paying for all of this heavy equipment, this is what we finance, and I'm adding that and I'm looking at my break-even point and I'm like, looking, I got to pay a full-time manager salary. I got to pay a field manager salary. And I got to pay the lady that is running like also the office and then my salary and then, you know what I mean? Like you got to pay the rent and then the power and water and all that. And it's like, I really want the trucks, but there's also an action that I can probably buy 4 trucks with $80,000.
Yeah. Well, and that's the, lost my, all those things you mentioned are not income producing. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter what they're doing. They help sustain the business, but they don't produce any income. And so that's really like when I was first financing stuff and all that, I was just looking at how much money is this going to make me if I buy this compared to renting it, or because the other thing with renting is it's not your equipment. So you don't have the flexibility of when you need it. And you know what happens if you have a week rental and the job goes one day longer?
Yeah. See, like so. I tell that to myself too when I'm trying to buy an excavator or kids. I see what you're doing. You're selling it to yourself.
I know. That's why I say
I do the same thing.
I'm not the. I'm definitely not the best example of that. I think we're probably more leveraged than we should be.
Yeah.
And we've just been fortunate.
Was because you can pick up on opportunities, man. And we talked a little bit about last time and how lots of companies, I mean, at least I know a few that are having issues because they got into so much debt and private investors, and unfortunately like it's and then I don't want to be in that, man. Like I said, like I would rather choose peace of mind over quick money.
Yeah,
because peace of mind, I don't want to go home and everybody to hate me at home because I'm a little bitch or I'm always angry.
Right.
Is there what do you do to like you like exercise, right? Like what do you do that is not work?
The gym. I go to the gym 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday.
Yeah. It's
the one thing in my day that I know I can control.
Yeah, I also go to the gym, and I don't know if you notice.
Yeah, I can tell. So, but to that point, for me, it's not a look thing. For me, it's a way that I can go and I can decompress.
I guess I didn't ask you the right question because I was gonna get to that. That's great because you got to take that somewhere and not at home, right? You don't want to.
Oh yeah.
You probably want to talk about work at home a little bit with your wife so that she knows what's going on, right? But you don't want to take that like
Yes.
home.
Yes.
The gym, it's the perfect
Yeah.
place. Do you rather go in the mornings or like night? What are you like? Or you don't really have a day, just any time is a good time?
I prefer evenings,
Mm-hmm.
mostly just because it gives me something to look forward to. So if I'm having a terrible day, everyone has
You
bad days.
okay? That's awesome.
I know I can look forward to going to the gym.
Yeah, you have
And-
terrible days, especially if you're into fucking landscaping.
And,
There's some days that are hard.
and some days it'll be like a Tuesday night and I'm there at midnight just
Yeah.
because I need it. Even I'll
Yeah.
go for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I just have to get there.
yeah. I was gonna share mine, but now you're gonna make me look bad.
No, I want to hear it. What is it?
Well, I go hiking. I like the outdoors. It can be snowing
Uh-huh.
or raining as long as there's not like a thunderstorm. I will
Yeah.
go hiking.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I stay active.
Yeah.
But really, sometimes I just go home and I do gardening. Like there's lots of raised planter boxes around my house, tomatoes, peppers, all the herbs you can think. I have them. I also like cooking,
I've seen you posting stuff about that.
and it is a way for me to like what the gym does for you when I'm cooking and I'm stirring the pot and my hand is like kind of burning. That's how I am.
Yeah. That's funny. See, but everyone has their thing that works for them. That's why there's not one recipe for success or for anything because it's got to fit you.
What puts a little smile in the back of your head and you're like, okay, I'm doing great.
Yes.
Right? You give yourself a little like you did great today, and how you speak to yourself too, right? Because like you said, it's like there's days where that I'm drained, to be honest, and then sometimes I'm like I go and I stay outside a little bit. And I have a dog too, or I go home and I'm like 20 minutes outside. And I have a little like outdoor kitchen, so I personally sometimes I go and I get a little wine, or sometimes I got into this like kombucha.
Oh yeah.
So I actually like I used to sometimes get a beer,
Uh-huh.
and it's funny because I'm like I don't want to like it kind of becomes a habit that I don't want to have,
Yeah.
and then I tried that kombucha stuff, and I'm like okay, this is actually like it's like vinegar with. And it's good for you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this does it. So I sit outside for a little while and just kind of like organize my thoughts because I think were we talking about like ADHD last time?
Yeah.
So I kind of like organize my thoughts and decompress a little bit outside. And then I just go inside the house. Or sometimes, my Stella comes out and she's like, well, but she kind of knows my routine, right?
Yeah.
So I get a chance for decompressing and just leaving whatever negativity it happened at work or clients, your team. There can always be a lot of things, or it can just be like a really busy day and it's just like
Yeah. Oh yeah. And sometimes when I get home, all I want to do is just doom scroll, turn my brain off and just scroll for like 20 minutes. Don't want to talk to anybody. Just
no, I think that's good, man. And again, I think everyone is gonna have a different way to decompress, but do it and do it as often as you can because it's like it starts building up. And what's the point of having a good successful business, having having a great family if you're just frustrated with things?
Yeah.
And I've been on that side when I'm not decompressing, I'm not doing what I like. And it builds up, and you become a grumpy person, like not so good to be around, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and on the flip side, when things are really good, make it a habit
yes.
because it'll make you enjoy. When things are good, it'll make you enjoy whatever you use to decompress that much better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we got to do more of that out there. Well, man, we are coming to almost the end of this. I got a couple questions here, random questions. I actually wrote those down because I knew I was going to forget it. What is your favorite piece of equipment? One that you're like, if you send me to a job site, this is what's coming from me.
Probably a mini skid.
Yeah.
And
Do you have a brand of preference?
We use Bobcat.
Okay.
Just because that was the first we bought.
And because all the cool videos says that you have to have Bobcat.
Exactly.
I did
That's
the
right.
same thing.
Yeah.
What is your dream landscaping project? Something that you're like, I want to be ready for when that opportunity comes. I want to take that landscape project.
Probably some sort of pool with some elevations. So we get to do some walls
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of open grass with we can do some big beds.
Yeah.
Just where we can like really make a spot cool that people are also going to enjoy.
Yeah.
And use. That's the biggest thing, is just what can we give to somebody that they're gonna use, and they're gonna go outside and think, oh, we're so glad that we did this job back here or whatever.
The one $500,000 project, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's also a dream for us. Coffee or energy drink?
Neither.
Good.
So I don't drink any coffee. I drink very little caffeine. Mostly just for the same thing you were talking about, making things a habit.
Yeah.
I would rather just
it's
be
really easy.
as clean as clean as possible. In fact, I don't even drink soda. I haven't had soda since 2019.
See, like I don't do the sugar, but I do drink. Like I said, like I got into that kombucha, and I get wine sometimes, but no soda. One word that describes your team.
The first word that comes to my mind is fantastic.
Okay.
There's a lot of words that describe them very well. But
what is the one thing that is like a I don't even know how to pronounce that, a pet peeve, like something that bothers you on the job site? One.
When our guys say something's going to get done a certain way and it doesn't, and I find it later.
Yeah, because you probably already had told the client that it was gonna look certain way, and then you're having to explain why that didn't happen, but you don't really know how to explain it because your guy didn't tell you why he switched the plan.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's. I'm sure you guys go through that.
Yes, anyone with employees will go through that.
No, and that's it for me. Thank you for sharing your experiences and your stories, and how you run your company, how you started, how you like parts of your personal life too. What is the plan for Activescapes in the next 3 years?
Oh, 3 years. That's tough.
Just 3.
I definitely want to grow our maintenance side. I'd love to be 3 years. I'd love to be 10 plus trucks on our commercial maintenance side. We have 2 right now. I'd love to grow that.
Mm-hmm.
I would just love to have a business that I can go to that I'm going because I want to, and I want to see how everybody's doing. I want to check in with everybody because I want to, not because I have to.
Yeah.
So kind of how it seems like you have things set up right now.
I think I'm lucky to say yes, but everything that you said, man, you're gonna get there way sooner than me.
Well, but at the same time, you worked really hard for it.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Like,
that's what a lot of people probably don't see, is they see where you're at now, they see your schedule or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see how hard you worked for it.
Yes. Well, again, like, people are gonna see all your success, but they're never gonna ask you how many times you cried alone because you couldn't get what you needed, or your business was really struggling to even make a penny.
Yeah.
Look, no one is gonna ask you that. They just like I said, like, they want to see what kind of trucks you guys are driving, what equipment are you using, but no one is asking what your profit, your net profit is at the end of the year.
Right.
Right. You said it at the beginning of this conversation. It's like, I keep seeing all these $5 million companies, $10 million companies, and it's like, they have this massive revenue, but then like their overhead costs, and then like a lot of things that is just not there. And another thing I've seen a lot, dude, on landscapers is like they do everything themselves. And I forgot that I had this book to give you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I ordered you on Amazon and I didn't get it. This was it has a little some highlight things that I highlighted. But I think we talked about it last time when we had lunch.
Yeah, I started listening to it again.
For me, dude, I don't come from, I don't, like, no one in my family has graduated from college, and from my direct family, and there's no businesses with us like, you were meant to just work for someone.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like, if I'm going to be working 60, 70 hours for someone, it better be me.
Right.
That's it. But anyways, I started different businesses before the landscaping company. And one thing that got me to be able to go home 4 or 5 with like happy and smiling and again, not all the time. I still go outside to decompress, especially when because I do the sales too. So for building the team as like my what we have, and being able to delegate and people to take care of your business like it's their own. Again, I told you about this Traction by Jenna Wickman, and this was not my book. This was presented to me by my partner, Scott Cruz. Thank you. I don't think he'll listen to this because he listens to me like on other stuff like at work.
Yeah.
But thank you. Yeah, this definitely changed my business, and not only my business, but it affected my life in a positive way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where you get to do more of what you love, because that's the idea, right? Like to do more of what you love, and to at the same time be growing your business, and is really letting go of the bind, delegating, putting people in the right seat, and making sure that that seat is for the right people. And
right.
And this is the book. I'm gonna model the book. I think is the greatest investment I ever done besides my Toyota Corolla. This is it. This is what helped me understand that a real business is a business that runs on its own. And just like you said, you check in. There you go.
Thank you.
It's a good book, man. I really think it can really help organizing and putting people in the right places. Guys, Luis Romero,
Jackson Bennion.
where can our friends, some of our friends that watch this, where can they find you? What is your social media for your business, or where can they find you and follow and look at some of the cool projects that you do and look at your cool equipment and your trucks?
Yeah, Instagram. We're I'm Jackson Bennion on Instagram, and Activescapes Utah on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's where we're at.
Check out his website too. Really cool website. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
thank you for being here. Guys, good luck out there. Remember that it's not easy. It's gonna take a little time. It's gonna take a lot of hustling, a lot of hours, a lot of training online, YouTube, ChatGPT. But it's doable as long as you guys stay consistent. Luis Romero will catch you guys on the next one, okay? Take care.